We saw in the last video how our protagonist started off working as a cleaner, until he stumbled upon a mysterious ring. That moment changed everything. He connected with the system, discovered the Divine King's hammer, and began grinding like a madman to level up. And let's not forget, he straight up demolished the students who were bullying his sister. Today, we're picking up exactly where we left off. But before we dive in, I just want to give a massive shout out to all of you. The support you've been showing me means the world. Seriously, thank you. Yesterday, I finally upgraded my PC, and yep, I did it for you guys. I want you to experience the best video quality possible. I went to a store a friend once recommended, and after digging around, I found the perfect setup. I made sure the cabinet could handle the latest config, something solid enough to last me at least 2 to 3 years. The whole thing cost me about $1,500, but it's worth every cent if it means bringing you better content. So without any more delay, let's get right into the video. It's finally here, the day of the Future Stars Tournament. Students from everywhere are pouring into the school like it's some anime version of the Olympics. The home team? Already hyped. But it ain't just them. Students from other schools are also showing up, looking like they just walked out of a shonen anime opening. As one girl spots a group of students from a different school, her eyes widen like she just saw free food. It's Kurozu High and Sawahira High, the top-ranking schools with the best academic scores. They're participating, huh? Yeah. Basically, the Harvard and Oxford of this hero world just pulled up, and right beside her, her friend already looks like she's ready to pack her bags and go home. I heard there are already many students in the hero class who are already capable of becoming real heroes, so we don't stand a chance. Bruh, zero faith in her own squad. No motivation speech. No, we can do this. Straight up GG go next vibes. And without missing a beat, the girl replies like she's reading the tournament results before it even started. The top 5 will probably come from those 2 schools. Our school won't even make it into the top ranks. Brew, somebody get this girl a trophy for Most Honest Student 2025. Meanwhile, somewhere near the registration table, an announcer sitting on a bench with major NPC energy grabs his mic and shouts like your typical tournament uncle. Please make sure to register the participants from your schools here before gathering in the arena. But just as things are moving along, boom, our protagonist appears out of nowhere like he's about to solo the entire bracket. Walking up to the registration table casually, the staff guy looks at him, probably expecting some overpowered hero class student. You're from the hero class, right? What's your name? Without even sparing a glance, pure main character disrespect, our boy responds, I'm Tsukishiro Tsuyoshi from the regular class of Seishin High. Oof, you could feel the mood drop. The man probably had a whole speech ready to welcome another hero class student, but Tsuyoshi just hit him with a regular class Uno reverse card. And right at that moment, like the world itself is hyping up our MC, a notification pops up. Class, warrior equipment, black armor disguise set weapon, black cold light blade skills, thunder chain fall duplicated skill, thunderous ambush attack combat power, 16,000 bruh. Regular class wear. This man's stats look like a boss raid character. But the staff guy, yeah, he ain't seeing those stats. All he knows is regular class. And so, with a face full of disappointment like he just ordered food and got the wrong item, he tells Tsuyoshi, you're from the regular class. Your spirit is commendable. Just don't overdo it. The students from the hero class are quite formidable opponents. Translation, good luck, you're gonna need it, bro. And while this little misunderstanding is going down, the scene shifts to the stadium, packed with students, heroes, and future legends, all getting ready for a tournament that's about to be absolute chaos. Then the scene shifts over to the teacher with glasses, who looks like the typical sharp-eyed guy who knows all the gossip. He turns to the principal and drops the news like it's top secret intel. Principal, Chairman Suzuki has arrived. And hearing that, the principal instantly pulls a teleportation move, appearing near the chairman like he was waiting for this boss battle moment. He bows respectfully and says, I'm sorry, there was a no 1TO receive you. But the chairman? This man is ice cold. Without even blinking, still staring straight ahead like a final boss surveying the battlefield, he casually replies, "And no need for that. Have all the regular class students registered?" And the glasses-wearing teacher, nodding like an overeager assistant, responds to the principal's words while looking at the chairman. Yes, they've all been registered. They're probably in the arena now. Hearing that, the chairman gives a simple nod and thinks to himself, locking his sharp gaze onto the participants before him. So, Tsukishiro registering means he's serious about this tournament. If his power is real, he could definitely be an incredible genius. If large guilds or factions notice him, they might try to steal him. I won't let that happen. This chairman is already plotting harder than some villain bosses. Then suddenly, the glasses-wearing teacher turns to the principal again like he's got another mission update ready. The guild and faction representatives have also arrived. Let's start the opening ceremony. And the principal, staying calm despite all this pressure, simply replies, "Yes, make sure everyone is properly taken care of and make sure there's no lapse in etiquette." But right after that, the assistant principal, clearly knowing all the behind-the-scenes drama, adds more fuel to the fire. Chairman Suzuki probably knew that both Kuroza High and Sawahira High have sent their top students this year. Hearing that, the principal starts sweating bullets like he just realized he brought a butter knife to a sword fight. Wait, they've sent even better students than usual? But the assistant principal isn't done dropping bad news like bombs. He continues, looking dead serious while speaking to the chairman. Both schools seem to be determined to achieve good results this year. Meanwhile, our school's students have been falling behind year after year. It's likely that our school won't produce any remarkable results this year. Dang, talk about a motivational speech in reverse. And hearing his assistant's words, she just lets out a big sigh like every tired salaryman on a Monday morning. I know, it's the same as always. We'll just do our best in our own way. Bro sounded like he's been through this nonsense 100 times already. But before he could even finish mentally clocking out, the announcer suddenly blasted through the speakers like a school bell from hell. The practical ability test will begin shortly. Please proceed to the testing area. And just like that, boom, chaos mode activated. In the preparation room, every single participant starts gearing up, hyping themselves, stretching like they're about to enter the Olympics. Or an arm wrestling contest with Goku. Right in the middle of that crowd is our boy, Tsuyoshi. Calm, chill, observing the other participants like he's shopping for discount warriors at a Black Friday sale. And while the announcer keeps yapping, Tsuyoshi's inner monologue kicks in. Ability test? Aren't they supposed to start the tournament right away? Bro really pulled up ready to throw hands, but now you gotta do math first? Then, right in front of everyone, boom, the big screen lights up like it's about to drop some Netflix spoilers. And here it is, the rules of the game, ability test rules. Perform with minimal movement while maximizing power. Body score and power score will be displayed on the screen. Each category has a maximum score of 100. Translation, move less, hit harder. Basically the martial arts version of being lazy but dangerous. Tsuyoshi, looking at that info, just thinks in his mind, so the competition starts here, huh? Smaller movements show greater control and potential power. This test will reveal the true ability of each participant. And since everything is being evaluated by machines, there's no way to cheat. Yup, no bribing the ref here, no plot armor, just cold, hard robot judgment. But just when Tsuyoshi was deep in thought, minding his own business like a peaceful NPC, from behind him, a random participant suddenly shouts out with that classic pre-battle trash talk energy, the Sawahira High student. I wonder how many points they'll get. Oh, here we go. It's always that one dude in the back starting side, quests nobody asked for. And of course, this guy's from Sawahira High. Bro probably thought he just dropped an epic diss sometime later. In the test area, the vibe was tense like an exam room, but with muscles instead of math. One of the participants stepped up to the testing machine, cracking his knuckles like he's about to one-punch a vending machine for free snacks. He positions himself, focuses, and then, bam, delivers a clean, direct hit to the machine. The machine beeps, calculates, and his score pops out on the screen. Seeing his result, the dude grins like he just hit the jackpot. Nice, but from the crowd, another participant watches closely like a nerd checking exam results and goes, great. Both scores are above 70. Anything above 70 is average, but if it's above 80, they'll definitely be competing for the top 3 spots. Bro basically dropped the power level stats like he's doing live commentary for Dragon Ball fights. But then suddenly, from his side, another dude cuts in like an unskippable ad. What did you score last time? And before the first guy could even blink, yet another dude joined the conversation like a nosy neighbor. Body, 76. Power, 66. When I restrict my movements, the power doesn't come out well. Bro Loki admitted he's strong, but stiff like a robot with lag issues. Then hearing that, the other guy just hits him with the good old martial arts advice like a disappointed dad. You need to practice controlling your power better. Meanwhile, our boy Tsuyoshi, standing there, watching this whole scene like he's binge-watching a live drama, starts thinking in his mind, so getting over 70 in both categories is pretty good, huh? I wonder what score I'll get. Yeah, real humble thoughts. But we all know bro about to break that machine for fun. Then one after another, the participants started taking the test. First up, someone from Seishin High steps in, does his thing, and the result? Body score, 62. Power score, 69. Not bad, not great, just kinda. There. Then another guy from Sawahira High steps up, body score, 73. Power score, 65. The process kept going like a line at McDonald's, different orders, same struggle. But while watching all this, one participant, looking dead at the screen, couldn't help but roast out loud. Is this really Seishin High's result? 56 points. It's so average, right? Haha. Bruh straight up turned into the live comment section, savage for no reason. Hearing that, others around start laughing. Another guy joins in mockingly. I heard there's a regular class student from Seishin High competing. With a sarcastic grin, he adds, I'm curious to see what kind of cute score they'll get. He laughs. Poor Seishin High, having to fill the roster with regular class students, huh? Huh. Meanwhile, from the guild and faction representatives area, 3 men observe the machine and participants closely. One of them thinks, it seems like Kurozo High is ahead. If they train harder, they could definitely become great heroes. I'll add them to my recruitment list. Another evaluates. That student from Sawahira High is pretty impressive. But when their eyes turn to Seishin High, they've got no chance. They're clearly behind the competition. On the other side, the principal of Tsuyoshi's school looks away in shame, mumbling to himself, such pathetic scores. As for the chairman and the assistant principal, both are sweating nervously while watching the participants. The chairman thinks bitterly. Compared to other schools, they clearly fall short. I was hoping a lot from Tsukishiro. From the stands, Tsuyoshi's classmates are watching everything. Then suddenly, the lackey of the school bully speaks arrogantly. Even other schools know about that? How embarrassing. Hearing that, the bully himself mocks loudly. Hey, where's Tsuyoshi? Is he not going to compete? At the same time, Tsuyoshi's little sister, looking worried, glances toward her brother, big brother. Meanwhile, from another stand, Karina's class is watching. The girl who bullies Tsuyoshi's sister leans towards Karina, sneering, Karina, your brother's going to embarrass our school in front of everyone. Her friend supports her mockingly. Yeah, if he's really strong, he should be able to compete with the students from other schools, right? She adds with venom, that day, he really mocked us, didn't he? But then Karina looked back at them with full confidence like she's in some anime climax scene and say, I believe in my brother. And bro, the bully girl? She looked like she just ate a lemon without sugar. She get mad and roast Karina like, huh, you and your brother are idiots. I'll be happy to watch your brother fail. Meanwhile, the chairman's sitting there like some old wise NPC looking at the test area, thinking in his mind. Right now, no one has scored above 80 points in both categories. The real strong competitors show up at the end. When will Tsukishiro-kun go up? Can he even handle the monsters from Kurozu and Sawahira? But while all this serious commentary going on, out of nowhere, a big Bill gym freak looking dude just bulldozes his way through the crowd like it's leg day every day. Man's shoulder hit someone so hard. Boy thought earthquake happened only on him. And the poor boy, he got it. Full angry mode. Hey, watch where you're going. But that big dude didn't even flinch. Didn't even look back. Just walked like main character energy straight to the testing machine. And guess who this Giga Chat is? None other than Sawahira, High's hero class monster. Past hero test. D rank hero. Level 4. Combat power 580. Name? Vince nickname? Walking protein shake and the boy who got it. His homies standing beside him whispered like they in National Geographic, that's Vince. He's Sawahira High's ace. Already passed the hero test. Seated competitor aiming for the championship. And after hearing that, boy's whole anger turned into regret real quick. Man legit whispered like an NPC after game over. If I had known, I would have stayed quiet. Then he calmly steps in front of the machine, standing there for a few seconds in total silence. And suddenly, boom, he smashes the machine with his full power. The result appears instantly on the screen. Body score, 86 power score, 90, and the entire place falls dead silent for a moment. Before the crowd explodes in shock, one of the participants shouts, WWOH. Unbelievable. Another gasps. Just that small movement, and he unleashed such explosive power. He's on another level. As for the chairman, he doesn't say a word, but in his mind, he's already made his judgment. As expected from Sawahira High, without a doubt, he's the strongest here. Looks like he's the most capable student this year. I must talk to him after the event. But then, the atmosphere changes. Someone points towards the next challenger. Hichiwai. Kurosa High's ace is up next. Everyone turns their gaze, and stepping forward with unmatched arrogance, rubbing his head like he owns the place. He speaks coldly. All of you who couldn't even break 80 should just stay silent. Now, I'll show you what a real ace looks like. This guy is none other than Boniface Kurozu High Hero Class Past Hero Test D Rank Hero Level 4 Combat Power 620 without wasting a second. Boniface stands before the machine. His sharp eyes lock on the target. And with a devastating strike, boom, the screen flashes instantly. Body score, 89 power score, 92, and at that very moment, the entire testing ground shakes with pure shock. Everyone's faces freeze in disbelief. Then from the crowd, one of the participants literally shouted like he just witnessed a miracle. Just a little more, and both scores would hit 90. He barely missed perfection. And right after that, another dude who was probably already accepting his fate added, Kurozu's ace is on a whole different level. But wait, yet another one decided to sprinkle some extra salt on the wounds. Looks like this year's champion is already decided. Bruh, these guys talking like they already started writing his victory speech. And while the whole area was drowning in hype, the chairman was sitting there with that Animalize old man pose, thinking in his mind, amazing potential. As expected from Kurozu's top student. I'll definitely talk to him after the tournament. Meanwhile, both Vince and Boniface were walking away from their test machines like two final bosses meeting in a crossover episode. They locked eyes like a yes, destined rivals. And Boniface, with that classic smug energy, looked straight at Vince and dropped his declaration like a villain at 3 a.m. You're my only real rival, but the championship is already mine. But just then, out of nowhere, our protagonist casually walked out from the crowd, stretching his arms, looking like he just woke up from a nap. Sorry. But it's my turn now. Bro really pulled the main character entrance at peak dramatic timing. Then Boniface turned around, looking straight at our protagonist like, huh? Who even is this guy? But before anything else could happen, from the back of the crowd, one of the students literally couldn't hold back his surprise and yelled, Tsukishiro Tsuyoshi from Seishin High's regular class? I can't believe he actually showed up. Don't embarrass our school, alright? And as if that wasn't enough, another one just had to throw extra shade. How dare he line up behind Boniface? But Tsuyoshi? Bro didn't even blink. Man was locked in, completely ignoring all their background noise like he just pressed the mute button. He stared at the machine in front of him, thinking calmly, so I just have to use the minimal movement possible while maximizing my power, right? But nope, these clowns weren't done yet, haha. Hurry up and do it already, another guy shouted. laughing like this was comedy hour. And from the gallery, that one arrogant girl, the same one who bullied Tsuyoshi's little sister, looked down at him with her nose in the air and threw her trash talk like she was already riding his L. So you finally came out, huh? Too bad, you'll just embarrass yourself. Don't freeze up from now. But up there, watching quietly, Karina, Tsuyoshi's little sister, had that worried look in her eyes, clutching her hands tightly, whispering, "Big brother, do your best." And while all this drama was happening, the chairman was sitting there, smiling with interest like a gamer watching a newbie try hard mode. Let's see how he performs. If he gets anything between 70 and 80, it'll be impressive. Oh, there he is. Meanwhile, the principal? Bro is already face-palming like he just witnessed a disaster before it even started. Ah, that regular class student. It's over for him. But little did they know, right in front of the machine, Tsuyoshi stood there, calm, focused, and dead serious. In his mind, he thought, if that's the case, I'll just use the ultimate physique and the divine selection system a little. And that's when it happened. Crackle, spark, zap. Golden lightning suddenly wrapped around his finger, like straight-up cheat code energy. The system notification popped up in front of him. Ultimate physique. The middle finger has been enhanced for a short time. Shock resistance greatly increased. Tsuyoshi raised his finger, and in that split second, boom, he smashed the machine with just a finger. But it wasn't over. Another notification instantly appeared. Divine selection system greater than 60% of the body's power has been focused on the index finger. Power in other parts of the body significantly reduced. Power in the index finger increased by 600%. And then, boom! The entire machine literally exploded like a bomb just went off in the middle of the tournament. The whole crowd, dead silent, jaws dropped, eyes wide open, and right there on the screen. For just a second, the result flashed. Body score, 400, power score, 100, but before anyone could even process it, poof, the score disappeared. And instead, only one thing remained on the screen. Bro didn't just break the machine. He broke the whole damn system. And our protagonist, standing there, casually looking at the completely demolished machine like, oh, I might have gone too far. Then clank, thud, boom. Pieces of that poor machine started landing like meteorites, flying all the way to the other side of the field like Team Rocket just blasted off again. Tsuyoshi, still calm but now sweating a little, thought to himself, this is bad. I have to pay for the damages. Man's not worried about fame, not worried about flexing. Nah, bro's just calculating repair bills in his head like a responsible citizen who accidentally turned into Saitama for 2 seconds. From our protagonist, the ball that Tsuyoshi threw. The audience got shocked, and someone said, what does this mean? Then another one butted in and said the ball flew. Does he really have that kind of power? And hearing that, another one chimed in again, there's no way. There must have been a problem with the machines. And seeing the unbelievable scene in front of them, one of them said, could he have cheated? Now, and from the guild representatives, seeing that even they were shocked, one of them stood up, tapping on the bands in front of him, and said, who is this student? Then from his side, a man sitting on a chair said, what happened to the score now? And hearing that, another one said, if it's not a malfunction, does that mean his power exceeds that of every student here? And hearing that, the man standing said, he must have cheated, right? There's no way a high school student could have that kind of power. And the instructor who was conducting the test said in a shocked voice, looking toward the machine, let me check with the school. Must wait. And our protagonist, hearing all the commotion, simply replied, as long as it's not a 0, I'm fine with it. Looking towards our protagonist, the last participant who took the test before him said, this is impossible. He must have used an item to cheat. And hearing that, the boy who took the exam before Tsuyoshi looked over and said, I don't know. Let's see what the school decides. And in the middle of the crowd, the principal and his assistant appeared. The principal, sweating nervously, said awkwardly, everyone, please let us through. The machines need to be inspected. In front of the principal, 2 men knelt down with tools in hand, examining the machine very closely. But then, the chairman stepped forward, appearing in front of our protagonist, and said, Tsukishiro, show me your hands. Hearing the chairman's words, Tsuyoshi scratched his head in confusion, unsure of what was going on. But as the chairman looked at Tsuyoshi's hands, he thought in his mind, "At first, I thought he might have enhanced his power using a tool. But there's no sign of tools or any trace of cheating. And his hands are surprisingly calloused for someone's age." Still curious, the chairman, now sweating a bit himself, looked at him and asked, "Why do you have so many calluses and scars?" And hearing the chairman's words, our protagonist just scratched his head like it was no big deal and replied, "I've been working part-time for nearly 10 years to make a living." The chairman's jaw almost hit the floor. Dude was expecting a magic glove, not a backstory that hits harder than a right hook. Right then, one of the machine examiners peeked up at the principal with the kind of nervous grin you flash when your lunch exploded in the microwave. He said, "There's nothing wrong with the machine. After recovering the data, we measured the impact and both metrics scored 100 points." The principal's face went from mild panic to full system crash. He stuttered, 100 points in both categories? "Tsukishiro from Seishin High School, you said?" From the crowd, chaos erupted like someone dropped a bucket of soda in a server room. A participant screamed, "A power strong enough to break the machine? It's obviously cheating." Another one hollered like he just failed a pop quiz, "This is definitely a lie." Someone else jumped in with pure conspiracy energy. "This is being held at Seishin High School, right? Do they pull some strings?" Amid the madness, a poor machine worker blinked and asked the principal, "Is there a problem?" The principal, now sweating like he ran a marathon through a sauna, turned toward the chairman and muttered, "Chairman, I don't have the power to change Tsukishiro's score." But the chairman wasn't flinching. With the confidence of a man who just watched a superhero origin story unfold live, he said loud and clear, "On behalf of the School Hero Association, I acknowledge Tsukishiro's results. I personally confirmed it, and there was no sign of cheating." With all eyes on him, the chairman doubled down like a boss at a poker table and said once again, "I declare that Tsukishiro from Seishin High School scored 100 points in both categories." At that very moment, the final scores flashed like a gaming boss achievement unlock. Power score, 100 physical score, 100. Hearing that, the two poor souls who went before Tsukishiro shouted in perfect unison like a shocked anime chorus, "Wait, 100 points in both categories." The boy who had tested right before our protagonist went full mental spiral. In his mind, gears were turning and steam was almost coming out of his ears. "I never paid attention to Tsukishiro. Is this the person Billy asked me to deal with? There must be some kind of mistake." Billy's father is the young head of the Blue Snake Gang, a business partner of ours. "I have to fulfill Billy's request no matter what. I'll deal with this in the next match." And hearing that, one of the crowd participants practically screamed, "I can't believe Chairman Suzuki from the School Hero Association said that." Another one jumped in like they'd just seen a miracle. "If someone like the chairman says it, then it must be true." And another chimed in with wide eyes. "So, Tsukishiro from Seishin High School's regular class ranks first in the power test with 100 points in both categories?" Then suddenly, the announcer's voice boomed across the entire venue like a final boss entrance. "The power test results are in. Tsukishiro from Seishin High School, 100 points in both categories. First place." And like a movie scene, a massive sky display lit up for all to see. Our protagonist standing proudly in first place on the leaderboard, shining like the main character he is. The crowd? Full panic mode. 100 points in both categories. Another classmate's jaw dropped. "First place? This is insane." And yet another classmate couldn't believe their eyes. 100 points in both categories must be a record. What the heck is with him? Watching all this unfold, Tsuyoshi's little sister was jumping like she'd just won the lottery. "Big brother, you're amazing." And right next to her, her friend awkwardly grabbed her hand while nervously laughing, like she wasn't sure if she should be cheering or fainting. From the crowd of Karina's friends, even the girl who used to bully our protagonist's sister was frozen with wide eyes. She muttered, "Such an amazing score." Karina, full of sass and pride, spun around to face them. She stuck out her tongue with a teasing grin and went, "See, Big brother is amazing." The bully girl's face twisted with rage as she clenched her teeth so hard they probably cracked. In her head, She screamed. How could they let him win? What are they doing? Without wasting a second, she whipped out her phone and furiously messaged her boyfriend. What's going on? Didn't I tell you to make him pay? Her boyfriend, casually replying like nothing was wrong, texted back. I didn't get it either. My friend's an ace at Kurosa High. He'll take care of it for sure. Meanwhile, in front of everyone, Chairman Suzuki turned toward the participants and declared loud and clear, Tsukishiro is the only student from Seishin High to make it into the top 10. He continued, the top 3 will receive 10, 5, and 3 points, and the rest will get 1 point each. But deep in the chairman's mind, he was already calculating if Seishin High is relying on Tsukishiro to make it into the top 3. This next round is going to be tough. His thoughts raced as he glanced across the venue. Kurosa High and Sawahira High are not easy to win against. And right then, the announcer's voice echoed again, grabbing everyone's attention. Each school is free to form parties for the next round. The second match is a team competition. Explaining further, the announcer raised their voice again. The second match is a restriction race. All teams will enter a mock dungeon. They'll compete to see how many darkness creatures they can defeat in 10 minutes. Suddenly, a giant display lit up in front of all the participants, showing the match details. This match will use an E-rank mock dungeon. One of the participants squinted at the screen and said, if it's a team match, we still got a chance. We'll do our best to get as many of our teams as higher ranking as possible. In front of Tsukishiro, the instructor who had been running the tests approached him and said, Tsukishiro, according to the rules, you need at least 3 people to form a team, so you'll have to sit this one out. Tsukishiro nodded calmly and replied with a simple, understood. But inside, he thought to himself, Seishin High is in first place with 10 points right now. It's fine, right? Meanwhile, the long-haired boy was burning up with frustration, glaring at Tsukishiro. In his mind, he was fuming. Damn it. I can't do anything in the second match. I was planning to put him to his place. We still have a chance. We should focus on winning the second match. Adjusting his shoulders with a confident grin, he said to his comrade, we've done this kind of thing many times at school. We're the strongest team at Kurosa High, and we've been specially trained for this situation. We'll definitely take the top spot. The big muscle-bound guy next to him, unfazed and solid as ever, replied with his usual expression. Kurosa High and Sawahira High are both making their strongest teams to take the top spot. But we're not weaker than them in terms of power. Either of us could win. Without missing a beat, their companion chimed in, let's do our best. From the side, 3 other participants were huddled up, talking strategy. One of them said, the Kurozu and Sawahira teams are impressively strong. First and second place will be decided by them. Another replied, we'll earn as many points as possible and try to aim for the top 10. Hearing both of his friends, the last one in the group sighed and muttered, is this what a power gap looks like? Our team is significantly weaker than theirs. But before anyone else could respond, the announcer's voice boomed out again. The match begins. Each team will enter the simulator in turns. From a gallery, one of Tsukishiro's classmates leaned forward with a smug grin, pointing toward the test area. Hey, Tsukishiro's just standing there by himself. Right beside him, his buddy burst out laughing. Ha ha ha. Looks like no one wanted to team up with him. Meanwhile, not far from Tsukishiro, a group of participants were still whispering among themselves. See? Who would believe that a regular class student could score like that out of nowhere? Back on the sidelines, Karina's classmate turned to her with a cocky smirk. Your brother doesn't even have any teammates. How embarrassing. And like clockwork, her friend chimed in with fake sympathy. Poor guy. But Karina, not even bothering to look their way, crossed her arms and muttered in an annoyed tone. Everyone's underestimating him. At a distance from the simulator, Tsukishiro stood calm and collected, watching as the other teams entered one by one. In his mind, he was already strategizing. The ultimate star will be decided by the highest final score. Additionally, the player with the best performance and score during the match will be named the MVP, a great honor. I'll take it easy in the second match. My goal is to be the MVP. If I can get a good score in the individual rounds, the 10 million yen prize is mine. All the schools are going all out inside the simulator, swinging, slashing, blasting their way through monsters like it was a school trip to demon-slaying land. On one of the simulator displays, stats lit up. Current number of darkness creatures defeated. 18. Meanwhile, Sawahira High's screen flashed proudly. Sawahira High Vince's party current number of darkness creatures defeated. 48, but Kurozu High? They weren't playing around. Kurozu High Boniface's party current number of darkness creatures defeated. 62 outside the simulator. In the gallery area, the audience watched the scoreboard like it was the finals of the Hero Olympics. One person shouted, "We're halfway through." As expected, Kurozu High's party is leading by a huge margin. Their buddy nodded, eyes glued to the numbers. Kurozu and Sawahira both have amazing teamwork. From far above, Chairman Suzuki squinted down like a wise old eagle. In his head, he sighed, "I was hoping Tsukishiro would do something amazing, but in team competitions there's not much he can do. Regular class students are often left out by the hero class students." This is reality. Sometime later, the simulator doors opened dramatically like the loser's exit in a game show, and out walked a team from none other than Seishin High. They looked like they just got out of tumble dryer, filled with angry monsters. The simulator's robotic voice announced, as cold and unforgiving as ever, "Seishin High Some Party Simulation cannot continue. Duration, 6 minutes 39 seconds. Darkness defeated. 33." One of the participants, half sweating, half crumbling, gasped, "Why is everyone other than the vice captain and I knocked out? We won't even make the top 10 at this rate." His teammate, leaning against a wall like he was auditioning for a sad drama, replied, "Captain, even though it's a mock dungeon, we still took damage. We can't go on any longer." As they all dragged their eyes toward the display, another teammate muttered like he was staring at doom itself, "Damn. Kurozu's strongest party has already defeated 66. How many can they defeat in 10 minutes? Another one clenched his fists and gritted through his teeth. "Sawahira has 63 too. The difference between 10th place and us is just 8 creatures. Damn it." Then, fueled by sheer desperation and maybe too many action movies, they ran to an instructor and practically begged, "Sorry, can we keep going? The vice captain and I can still do this." But the instructor looked at them with the face of someone who just got asked to stop gravity. "But you need at least 3 people. The others are too tired, and even if you have someone to join in now, you won't have enough time." Hearing that, the captain practically exploded. "Useless fools. Just one more person." His friend suddenly glanced around, eyes landing on someone off-screen like he just spotted a plot twist. "There is one." The boy suddenly pointed his finger dramatically, like he was declaring the final boss. The regular class Tsukishiro? Meanwhile, Tsukishiro stood there leaning casually against the wall, like he'd been waiting for this exact moment to drop the beat. The 2 students rushed over, desperation painted all over their faces. One of them slapped Tsukishiro's shoulder like they were lifelong buddies. "We need 3 people. Join us so we don't waste our score." Tsukishiro didn't even blink. His response was cool, calm, and killer. "I am fine with that." The instructor looked at the hastily formed trio and sighed as if he'd seen this disaster movie before. Still, he pointed towards the simulator and said, "If you have 3 people, that's fine. Keep going. But I don't think it'll make any difference with 3 minutes left." Ignoring the shade, the team ran into the simulator like it was their last shot at survival. The first boy yelled like a battlefield commander, 3 minutes left. "Vice Captain, let's go." The vice captain gripped his sword tight, eyes locked on the enemy ahead. "All right, we already defeated 33. If we defeat 10 more, we'll make the top 10. Then, without even glancing at Tsukishiro, he added, "Hey, Tsukishiro, I don't know your abilities well, but if you can help, please do." Tsukishiro didn't reply. He just looked straight ahead at the darkness creatures, expression blank, eyes sharp. He didn't need to talk. The monsters would be the ones screaming soon. After saying what they had to say, the 2 teammates locked their eyes on the monsters, gripping their swords with tension thick in the air. They were ready to fight. But then, a figure casually walked past them from behind. It was Tsukishiro. "Both of you close your eyes." His voice was calm, but commanding. The vice captain blinked. Huh? Close my eyes? Tsukishiro raised his left arm, parallel to his shoulder, and activated his power. Energy crackled around him as he spoke again. It's better for your eyes, so just keep them shut. And then, ding, a notification lit up in front of them, calling fourth weapon. Black cold light soared. The two teammates hesitated, but quickly shielded their eyes with their hands. One of them muttered, I see. But the other, still tense, protested, but we don't have time. We have to defeat 10 more to make it to the top 10. Tsukishiro, now gripping the summoned sword, glanced back at them slightly, voice steady and full of power. Leave it to me. In that moment, boom, his entire body surged with lightning. Pure electric energy wrapped around him like a cloak, and he looked like a damn god of thunder descended into a dungeon. And yo, let me just say this. In my last video, so many of you kept saying that Tsuyoshi Loki looks like that man. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Our legendary shadow monarch, Sung Jinwoo. And seriously, I went everywhere, even used my magical power, and I couldn't find a single reason why these two look so damn alike. So if you know the answer, why Tsuyoshi and Jinwoo look like they were cut from the same divine cloth, drop it in the comments right now. Let's solve this mystery together. And without wasting a single second, Tsuyoshi dashed forward like a bolt of lightning, sword gripped tightly in his hand. As he closed the gap between him and the horde of monsters, his eyes locked on target, and he thought to himself, let's do this. I'm going to charge right through them. Suddenly, a surge of energy rippled through his body. System notification, ultimate physique activated. Strength has been enhanced. Tsuyoshi shifted his stance, blade aligned for a deadly thrust. Then with just one devastating strike, he unleashed everything. A storm of raw power erupted from his blade. Every single monster in front of him was shredded in an instant, obliterated before they could even react. The battlefield went silent. Not a single creature remained. Tsuyoshi rested his sword on his shoulder, gazing down at the fading shadows of his enemies. His voice calm, confident this should be enough. His teammates, still frozen for what they'd just witnessed, stared at him wide-eyed. One of them stammered in pure disbelief. Wait, one strike. Did you really defeat 300 enemies? And there he stood, right at the heart of the dungeon, like the final boss who had just wiped out every challenger. As the last remnants of the monsters vanished into nothing, the voice of the announcer rang out through the arena. All parties. Time's up. And then, the big screen lit up with the updated results. First place, Seishin High. Sometime later, Tsuyoshi stepped out of the simulator. As he walked forward, someone from the crowd recognized him. Seishin High. Behind Tsuyoshi, his two companions followed, still visibly shaken, eyes darting around at the sea of spectators staring at them in awe. From the front, the chairman stepped closer, sweat running down his face. His voice cracked in disbelief. No way. Did he really defeat 300 monsters just before the end? One of Tsuyoshi's companions, still trembling for what had just happened, stammered out, "We have no idea what happened. Tsukishiro told us to close our eyes." He continued, trying to make sense of the madness. After that, we could just see bright flashes and feel thunder and vibrations. Then Tsukishiro wiped out all the monsters in front of us with a single strike. His friend chimed in, nervously defending them both. Neither of us did anything wrong, I swear. The chairman stared at Tsuyoshi, stunned. Thoughts raced through his mind. So it's Tsukishiro after all. He's definitely a hidden powerhouse. No, he's a monster-level genius who will shake the whole hero community. Once this match is over, I'm going to talk to him. I can't let anyone else get to him first. From the crowd staring at Tsuyoshi's group, whispers started to rise. One voice cut through the noise. A 3-person party? This has to be cheating. How many times stronger is this than Kurozu High's strongest party? Hearing that, another boy turned to him, eyes wide. It's Tsukishiro again. Then someone else jumped in from the side, voice laced with suspicion. Since this match is being held at Seishin High, could they have tampered with the data to avoid embarrassment? But another boy quickly countered, frustration in his tone. Using such a crude method would be more embarrassing. If they tampered with the data this blatantly, it's bound to be discovered. Just then, a teacher from another school appeared in front of Seishin High's principal. He spoke formally but firmly. "Principal, we're from the External School Union of Judges. We find this record extremely suspicious, so we'd like to examine the data." The principal, now sweating and awkwardly rubbing his head, stammered out, "We're also confused, but of course you can investigate. There's nothing shady here." At the same time, in the gallery, one of Tsuyoshi's arrogant classmates watched the chaos unfold with a smirk. "The External School Union judges are examining the data. Things are getting interesting." Backing him up, his friend jumped in, pointing towards Tsuyoshi. "He definitely cheated. There's no way he has that kind of power." Another boy, overwhelmed with secondhand shame, covered his face with his hands. "If he really cheated, it will be a huge scandal." Then, the girl who always bullied Tsuyoshi's sister turned to her with a mocking grin and said, "Karina, your brother cheated, didn't he?" Tsuyoshi's sister sat stiffly in her seat, refusing to even turn her head. Her eyes burned with frustration as she snapped, "My brother would never do something like that." Meanwhile, the chairman made his way toward the group of examiners poring over the test data. His voice carried authority. "Okata, what did the data show?" The team, all visibly disappointed, glanced between one another as sweat rolled down their faces. Finally, one of them spoke up. "Well, after studying the data from right before the match ended, I did see that the values suddenly spiked. Although it's hard to believe, there's no sign of any forceful adjustments. So it seems there was no cheating." Hearing that, the principal exhaled with shaky relief, his voice still panicked. "So, Tsukishiro is innocent then?" Seishin High always plays fair and square. But just as the air began to settle, one of the examiners interjected again, eyes narrowed, "But I've never heard of a three-person party getting numbers like that." Right then, Tsuyoshi himself walked toward them, calm and confident. He met their gaze without hesitation and declared, "How about this? If we don't take first place in any of the next matches, you can consider this as cheating. If we take first place in all the events, then there will be no complaints." The principal, now sweating bullets, turned towards Tsuyoshi in alarm, voice shaking. "Tsukishiro, calm down. Taking first in every event." But Tsuyoshi, unfazed and bold, replied with steady resolve, "Don't worry, Principal M.Y. Idio." The long-haired boy stared straight at Tsuyoshi, his voice dripping with irritation, acting all high and mighty. "The rest of the events are individual events, so let's see if you can back up your talk." And right beside him, the big-headed macules chimed in with a frustrated grin. "I thought it would be a battle for first place between you and me, but now that we've passed the hero test, we've been completely overshadowed. Oh well, I kind of enjoy fighting against someone so overconfident." Even the teachers had something to say, one of them stepping forward with a challenging tone. "If you say so, then let's do it. We didn't force you to do anything. After all, if you don't take first place in any event from now on, I'll just say you cheated." But Tsuyoshi just raised his hand casually and flashed an OK sign. "That's fine by me." The long jump event began. The long-haired boy lined up for his jump, cracking his neck confidently as he thought, That's easy." But as for Tsuyoshi, he activated his ultimate physique. The moment he pushed off the ground, the spot beneath him cracked with raw power. A new system notification blinked into view. Ultimate physique. Both legs have been enhanced. Leg explosive power increased. And with a single jump, Tsuyoshi covered an insane distance, landing far beyond anyone else's mark. Just like that, he claimed first place. Even in the short sprint, Tsuyoshi was a blur. He dashed ahead of everyone, not just beating them, but completely dusting the two aces from both rival schools. The announcement rang out loud and clear. Short sprint first place Seishin High. Tsukishiro Tsuyoshi. Then came the disc throw. Tsuyoshi calmly activated his skill, ultimate physique. Both arms have been enhanced. Arm explosive power increased. And with one powerful swing, the disc soared out of the stadium entirely. Disc throw first place Seishin High. Tsukishiro Tsuyoshi watching from the sidelines. A bald man's jaw practically hit the ground. What? This is record-breaking. Meanwhile, the girl who used to bully Karina looked shaken, her voice trembling. Is Karina's brother really that strong? Karina, eyes shining with pride, stood up and cheered, "Go big brother." Her bully's friend leaned in, eyes wide. He'd gotten first place in every event so far. He must have broken the records, right? At the same time, Tsuyoshi's own classmates were losing their minds. One of them stared ahead nervously and muttered, "Rayleigh, something's off." With and Rayleigh, watching the chaos unfold, just sighed, "What a mess." Somewhere in a quiet corner of the stadium, the boy who used to bully Tsuyoshi's sister was hunched over his phone, eyes narrowed, frustration boiling over in his mind. What's going on? I don't care whether it's cheating or not. It can't continue like this. What's Boniface doing? Meanwhile, Boniface stood inside the stadium, completely out of breath from his last event. Beside him was his big, muscle-bound friend. Both stared ahead at Tsuyoshi's dominating performance, and Boniface cursed under his breath. Damn it! When did Seishin Hai create such a monster? His friend clenched his jaw and replied, trying to stay cool, but still, they're really tough to beat. Then Boniface pulled out his phone and checked Billy's message. Sweat was dripping down his face as his thoughts raced. "Billy, I get it. I wanted to intervene, but I couldn't. Damn it." Standing firm in front of Boniface, the muscle head cracked his knuckles, eyes blazing with confidence. "Boniface, the next event is the final one. I'll do something, so just wait. We've practiced for this for a long time. I'm confident. I'll face Tsukishiro in a fair fight." Hearing his friend's confident declaration, Boniface's eyes twitched, and suddenly, his mind drifted back to a moment he'd kept buried. The memory of meeting Billy's father resurfaced, and his thoughts turned cold and calculated. That's it. If it's that event, Billy's father secretly gave me the FEP mental interference. It's a high-priced item circulating in the underground. If I don't use it here, I won't get another chance to beat Tsukishiro. This interference has been adjusted to only have 10% of its original power, so it should be safe. P2P mental interference, a high-grade mental item. If used on a target, it delivers a strong psychic shockwave that attacks the head. The target will experience intense headaches for a while. It's extremely dangerous and is a forbidden item not allowed in circulation. Just then, the stadium speakers crackled, and the announcer's voice boomed over the crowd. Next up, the final event of the day. Tug-of-war lift. It's the traditional final event and the crowd's favorite. But this was no ordinary tug-of-war. This was tug-of-war lift. Players use ropes and pure strength and willpower to lift a female student to the top. When the bell at the top rings, the lift stops. The female student must then lower her school's banner to win. The announcer continued with rising energy. 3 players will participate from each school. Let's begin the final event. Amidst the rising noise and excitement, one of Tsuyoshi's classmates rushed up to him and spoke with urgency. "Tsukishima, the principal wants you to participate too. Please, take first place again here." Hearing his classmate's request, Tsuyoshi rubbed the back of his head and sighed. But there's no female student available. He thought to himself, Karina has a bad leg after all. But before he could say anything else, he looked the boy in the eyes and answered, "I'll find someone, don't worry." Just then, the announcer's voice echoed across the stadium. Seishin Hai's Tsukishiro Tsuyoshi will participate in the tug-of-war lift. But there's no female student to pair with him. Anyone willing to volunteer, please come to the competition area. Meanwhile, in the gallery seats, a group of Tsuyoshi's sister's classmates whispered among themselves, "I'd like to help, but I'm not sure if all the first-place wins are legitimate." Another girl chimed in, hesitating. "Tsukishiro seems to stand out more than the hero class students, even though he's from the regular class. I want to help, but it's a bit embarrassing." A quiet girl sitting on the bench mumbled, "Yeah, I'd rather not get noticed." Then suddenly, cutting through the murmur, Karina shot up from the crowd with her hand raised high and her voice loud. "I will do it." Her friend, alarmed, tried to hold her back. "No, you have a bad leg." But just then, the yellow-haired girl from Karina's class stepped in, looking calm but firm. "No one else is going, so it's fine. Besides, the school will probably just pick someone randomly anyway." The black-haired bully girl narrowed her eyes toward the testing ground, a wicked grin spreading across her face. "I've got an idea. It'll go. I'll deliberately mess things up. Even if I can't get first place, it'll be because of Tsukishiro's incompetence, not mine. Hearing her muttered scheme, her friend blinked and asked, "You're doing it yourself?" But with an arrogant toss of her hair, the black-haired girl scoffed, "I can't rely on Billy anymore. I can't stand it." Her friend, still hesitant, gave a small nod from behind. "All right, be careful and do your best." Meanwhile, back at the testing area, someone suddenly called out from behind Tsuyoshi, "I found a volunteer. Please say hello." Tsuyoshi, still not looking, gave a casual response, "Okay." Then turning around, he added, "Tsuyoshi Tsukishiro, nice to meet you." But the moment he saw the face of the girl standing in front of him, his eyes widened in shock. The girl stared at Tsuyoshi with an arrogant smirk and declared, "Tsukishiro, let me help you." They both locked eyes in silence for a tense moment. Then, the man who had brought her to the test area stepped away, speaking with a calm tone, "Please, go ahead and discuss things. I'll go do a final inspection before the match starts." Hearing that, Tsuyoshi gave a simple nod, "Okay, teacher." But the second the teacher left, Tsuyoshi turned to the girl with a clearly annoyed look and asked, "What are you doing here? You're probably up to no good." And the girl, matching his energy, glared back with the same irritation, "I came because no one else would. Watch your attitude." But before their back and forth could go any further, the announcer's voice boomed over the stadium. "All participants, get ready. The final event Tug-of-war lift will begin." Hearing that, all the participants grabbed their ropes and began preparing for the showdown. Sometime later, all the participants stood ready, gripping their ropes, waiting for the signal to begin. The girl paired with Tsuyoshi stepped onto the lift and looked back at him with a smirk. "So this is the lift? I've seen it before, but this is the first time I'm going to be on it." She gave him a smug grin and called out, "Hey Tsukishiro, please pull me to the top and help us secure first place." But Tsuyoshi didn't respond. He just kept his eyes forward, waiting silently for the signal. Seeing that, the girl frowned, twisted her lips in annoyance, and thought, "Ignoring me? Fine, whatever. Suit yourself." Meanwhile, the musclehead competitor struck a full-body bodybuilding pose for his female teammate and shouted, "All right, let's do this. I'll pull you to the top. So ring the bell and lower the banner when we're done." His partner nodded and replied with trust in her eyes, "I trust you." As for Boniface, he didn't say a word. He simply stared at Tsuyoshi, his expression dark. Beside him, his partner tried to encourage him, "Boniface-san, I'll do my best." But Boniface wasn't listening. Gritting his teeth, he glared at Tsuyoshi and thought, "Humph, just watch Tsukishiro. I'm not letting you win this event." Then suddenly, the announcer's voice echoed through the stadium. "All players, take your positions. All assistants, please check the ropes." Two massive men in black t-shirts stepped forward, raising their thumbs with a confident "okay." These weren't just any staff members. These were the official test assistants. One prepare participants. They were stationed there in case a player ran out of strength or if something went wrong, like the lift suddenly dropping. Then came the loud call, "Now all players. Ready, go." As soon as the signal was given, every participant threw their full strength into pulling the ropes. The final event had begun in full force. But Tsukishiro Tsuyoshi, our protagonist, moved with zero struggle. While others strained, he calmly reeled in the rope and thought to himself, "This is light. My ultimate physique's legs are making it easy." But he wasn't stupid. He knew that if he went all out too fast, it would look suspicious, but going too fast might look suspicious. "I'll slowly increase the speed and aim for first place at the end." Meanwhile, voices roared from the crowd, "Kurosa High, aim for first place." And another shouted, "Vince from Sawahira High, do your best." And hearing the crowd cheer, Boniface gritted his teeth hard, his eyes burning with frustration. "Heh, first place? I don't care about that anymore. My only goal now is to stop Tsukishiro from getting first place." His hand tightened around the rope, but it was his other hand, sneaking into his pocket, that held the real danger. "It's almost time. Once I use this item, no fighter, no matter how strong, will be able to bear the sudden headache." His fingers brushed against the forbidden object, the P2P mental interference. His breath grew heavy with anticipation. Cold sweat ran down his forehead, but his wicked grin only widened. Wait to see you get last place.